Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Unavoidable-Adventures in Aging, where Sue and Shan, two Midwest, past middle-aged sisters, discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of aging. With a little humor, a little heart, and occasionally a little frustration, we'll explore the unavoidable adventures we experience as we move into our golden years. Yeah, golden years, my ass. Just a note to our listeners, this podcast reflects the opinions and experiences of Sue and Shan. The main purpose of this podcast is intended to entertain. All right.
We're going.
We are rocking this one.
We are.
There was something about tonight's program, though, that I really want to get right. We do a lot of our podcasts, and sometimes it's like, yeah, we can just wing it and have a lot of fun. But I really want to do this one justice. And I'm going to start out with talking about a few weeks ago when we had Becky Thomas on, and she's the director of the museum here in town, and she talks so much about genealogy and stories, and I'd never heard it referenced like this before, but she talked about from your birth date till your death date, there's a dash in the middle. And the dash in the middle is your life. And when she talked about that, well, first of all, I am going to read the poem. It's not that long, but it relates so well to this book that we're going to be talking about. So let me first of all read The Dash. This is by Linda Ellis. Oh, you think maybe she's related.
Could be.
Who knows?
Better contact her.
I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth and spoke of the following date with tears, but he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love, and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger, and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? And in reading that, it covers this book so well. The name of the book is Theo of Golden.
By Allen Levi.
By Allen Levi, yes. So first of all, and I think I teased in one of our episodes that there was an interesting reason why we chose this book. And I'm going to leave that up to you because that was your story.
So it has been a long time since I have heard the dash. I did not realize how much the dash fits into the book.
Oh, my God.
Theo of Golden.
Yes.
Wow. So we've talked for quite some time about doing a book club, and this is our first attempt. Get better at it, everybody.
Yeah.
Hopefully we tried to tease it enough that people are listening. We'll say this a million times. We do want you to know there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this. So if you're planning on reading the book, and I hope you are, or if you haven't finished it yet, you may want to turn this particular podcast off and wait until you finish the book, because I don't want to color anybody's pictures of the people.
Yes. And so much happens towards the end.
So much. We decided on this one a few weeks back. Golfing was the first one, and my golf partner, Honora, said, have you read Theo of Golden? And I said, no. And she said, I really think you should. She said, right now it's my favorite book. Nora reads a lot. She's a library junkie, if you want to say that. She's always at the library. This is June. She had already read 75 books.
Wow. Wow.
So that's how much she reads. But she was so enamored with this. I mean, it just did so much, and she wanted me to read it. So I thought, okay, fine, and you and I talked about this. So I thought, well, I'll see what Sue says. Well, before the day was over, I get a text from our sister-in-law, Barb, and Barb is saying, have you read Theo of Golden?
Oh, my God. These people don't know each other.
No. Oh, gosh, no. Have no
Not
clue.
at all.
No, not at all. And she said, I really think you would like it. And I'm going to have to read the text again because she said something about the last story reminded her of me. And I forgot that until I just now said that.
I wonder which one she considers the last story.
I know. That's what I'm wondering. So that's why we decided to go with Theo of Golden. And here we are.
And and we both started reading the book.
Yes.
Actual with our eyes. But you don't have to read with your eyes. You can read with your ears.
I love that. That's beautifully said.
In our lives right now, that's what fits for me. I know that it's hard for me. Do I have the time? Of course I've got the time. Do I take the time? No. But,
and I know I am a slow reader anyway.
Yes.
So it was taking me a long time. I was into the book.
Oh, yeah.
And I was doing my due diligence, but I wasn't going very fast. And Tim had said something about maybe that would be his next listen to. He listens to books when he walks. He reads physical books the rest of the time. And so I thought, well, what the heck? I'm going to go ahead and start listening to it. As soon as I started listening to it, because the voice of
the
Theo,
narrator.
it fits him so beautifully.
It does.
And then I got you hooked up so that you could listen to it. And it was hard to put down.
Yes, it
so
was.
hard to put
in
down.
That way. The narrator really expresses the whole tone of the book. It's really that Theo is living a calmer life, an easier life than he had in the past. And this narrator really conveys that.
Yes.
And then Theo, the main character, is from Portugal. And the narrator has just a very slight Portuguese accent that just brings him to life.
Oh, the narrator, David Morris. And I think we need to give him kudos because that made the book.
It did. It did.
That narrator made that book come alive.
Really got me through it in a much shorter amount of time. And I don't even know where to begin with this.
I guess the premise is it begins with Theo coming to a town called Golden, I believe in Georgia. So in Georgia, and he comes to town, and one of the first things he does is goes to the coffee shop where he gets the most excellent cup of coffee he's ever had. And he talks about that. There are portraits on the wall that someone has drawn, and he begins to look at it, and he asks the proprietor, and he said, well, let me give you this, and he gives him a magazine to read, and it's an article about those portraits, and those portraits were done by an artist that lives there in Golden.
Right. Asher.
And there's 92 on the wall. And of course, the proprietor is saying we really thought this would help to jumpstart or just give more awareness to Asher, the artist. And so that's why they did it. And a few of them sold because they were for sale and they were very reasonable. A few of them had sold, but most of them had not. And at some point, Theo finally decides what he's going to do is to buy the books.
The portraits.
The portraits, I mean. Sorry. Buy the portraits, find who that picture is of, and meet them by the fountain and give them their portraits. Because he really believes that's where they belong, is with that person.
And for so many reasons, the people either couldn't afford them. Maybe they didn't even realize that they existed in that coffee shop.
Because the very first one that he does, her husband was supposed to go down and buy it. And he kept putting it off. Remember that?
That's right.
And he put it off, and he put it off, and he put it off. She was the first one. And when Theo buys those, then he sends them a little note about who he is and that he's an old man and that he is a good-looking old man.
Yeah.
And he'll be in the park, and of course it's at 7 in the evening, so that's the summertime. And
he always has a little green cap on.
green
That's
cap,
how to
that's how
recognize
they'll
him.
know him.
Uh-huh.
And he says some other things, and he means no harm. He just feels that they need to be with him.
Right.
And so, of course, every person, I believe, was hesitant
Yes.
to believe what he...
Very skeptical.
Very skeptical.
Because in today's world, who's going to meet some mysterious stranger just out of the blue like
Right,
that?
right.
So they're very skeptical
Yes.
of all of it.
And I believe he even tells them his age, that he was 87.
Yes.
Oh, you would think that would help. But the first ones, they do stand from afar to watch him, and end up, she goes forward to meet him.
When he meets with them, this man, one theme that kind of kept going through my mind as I'm reading this book is listen more, talk less. Because he would ask them a question and they would go into these stories, and then they would ask him a question and he'd kind of bounce it off.
He did.
He never went into any details about his life. He never told anyone why he was in Golden or what his real last name was.
Right.
Just that there was, it seems like he was telling someone that there was some property that he was there to
Right.
look at.
Yes. He
He
had
was
some
there
property to take care of, he
Yes.
said. And when they'd say, how long are you going to be here? Oh, a few months. He really said much. He didn't hesitate to tell them that he was from Portugal, lived around the world, but currently had a place in New York City. So he had a home in
Yeah.
New York. There's so much in this book. It's
There
so
is.
hard for us to even begin to tell everything because there's so
Yeah.
much.
The thing too, that when he meets them and he starts telling them what he sees in this portrait. This is why I chose this portrait and why I chose you. This is what I see in your face. A lot of times it was sadness. Many times it was sadness. But he would talk about there's a strength there, and there's this, and there's love, and people don't. It was so typical of what we would think. Oh no, I'm not that.
Yeah, exactly. All
Yeah.
of them did that. No, I'm not that person.
Right.
There was one that even, because often he would say they were saints.
Yes.
And as one said, I'm the furthest thing from a saint.
Yeah. Yeah. How you can parallel it to your own life, that we are so critical of ourselves. We don't see in ourselves what others see in us. And that's what Theo could do. And so these people would all leave, I think, with a better feeling of who they were. Oh, this is how people see me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like the first one, because her name was Manette.
Yes.
Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. But she leaves because he said Saint Manette. And he has such a calm way to talk to people. And I believe, in my mind, I'm going to try to do the same, talk calmly, listen better. But he does call her Saint Manette. And so she puts the picture up close to where she gets ready in the morning.
Yes.
And so she begins to say, well, good morning, Saint Manette, when she sees her picture there. So she's always saying Saint Manette.
Yes.
Saint Manette.
And it's throughout the whole book. It's when I first started reading it, I thought, this is what I need in my life right now.
Absolutely.
Because I've been so negative about everything and the whole world and blah, blah. But to read about this man and these people that he's touching, it's a feel-good book. And the underlying thing of all of it, I think, is love.
Yes.
Love and acceptance. It's love story. It's a romantic story. It's spiritual. It's a declaration of the love of the arts and what the arts can do for your life. There are so many themes running through it.
Because when you said that about the arts, and it very much, and it wasn't just the drawings he did, because there was also music.
Music.
A guitarist is in there, cello player is in there, and their love for that music.
Yes.
And love for books.
Yes.
And he calls that an art as well. Right.
It is.
People who can write books, that's an artist's take on things.
I know.
And so he also calls that an art. So it is all about
The
art around us and what art can do for us.
Right. And that you can be creative in so many different ways and not to give up on it.
True.
So I don't know, as far as just the theme of the book itself, because at the end, the author reads his notes on the whole thing. And that's one thing he said is, when people ask me, well, what's the book about? How do you even
I don't know how you describe it.
explain that?
I don't know how you describe.
Yeah. I guess the plot of the book is like Shan said. He makes it his own little life mission to give as many of these portraits away. Again, you don't know a lot about him, but you know from what he does and says, he's got money because he buys all of these portraits. And he lives in this cute little apartment and
he does, and when you say that about having money, he does things for others
Yes.
when he gets to know them.
yes.
And there was at one point where somebody suggested to him, just buy all of them and just have a party at the coffee shop and everybody can come get their pictures. And he said, but no, I want to get to know them. And that's 92 portraits. That's at least 92 hours and 92 people that I will get to know. And that's what he wanted, was to be able to sit with them and get to know them.
And not for the notoriety of it.
No.
He could care less about that. He truly wanted to meet these people, get to know them, and I think really encourage them in who they really were to other people.
Yes.
I kept looking at the book, and I thought, well, why is there a feather on that book? There are different stories, but remember the story about the fountain. He always meets these people. He's got his own bench, and he always meets them on his bench next to this fountain. And the reason, and they call this fountain feathers. Mm-hmm. And it was something about these ducks flying over when it was just being donated to the city, whatever. And there were feathers somewhere. And this little boy said, oh, yeah, look at the feathers. So they called it the feathers from then on.
So that's what they, always called it.
Yeah. And then feathers come up in other stories as it goes on.
Absolutely. It's too early for me to say, so which character? So at one point, Sue, I know, so here's the thing. I listened to the book, finished, sat in awe.
Oh, God.
And then I started listening to it again.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Not that I was surprised by some things, but there's a lot of things that how he says something, you go, oh, yeah, that's right, because he's leading up to this. But anyway, at one point, I know there's 43 that he has delivered, and not that we hear the stories of all of those.
Right.
But gosh, we must hear the stories from at least 15 different people.
Because I started writing them all down as far as, and when I first started it too, I thought, oh, this is going to be a book with no bad people in it. It ends up having, I counted 4. There was the one, remember, he had sent it to this woman, and this guy shows up, and he's this woman's boyfriend. Very jealous.
Jealous boyfriend.
And he takes her portrait, throws it on the ground, grinds his foot into it, because he's just one of those guys. Luckily, you find out later she breaks up with him. So there's that guy. There's Asher's brother, who's always on the phone. All of these other people are so calm and appreciative of the life that they have in the world around them. And Asher's brother is one of those, he's on the phone all the time. Go, go, go.
Make money, make money, make money.
There was one statement in there that said, do you want your children to be kind or wealthy? And that was one of the things with him. And then the other 3 bad people we'll talk about later, I think.
Yeah, so we might talk about them. Who knows? Who do you relate to?
Oh, my golly.
That might be, we probably should have thought about that before I asked that question.
I think all of them, to a certain extent, because I don't have a true picture in my head about how others see me. And they were all like that. And I think, oh, do people think I'm this or think I'm that? And in Theo's eyes, no. He
Right.
saw the good in
Yes.
everybody.
Yes.
And how about you? Was there one in
Well,
particular?
I think the one, maybe I should put it this way, that stole my heart is Ellen.
Ellen.
Ellen is a homeless individual. Although at one point she said something about somebody called her homeless, and she said, "I have a home. It's just not like everybody else's."
True.
Or something like
Yeah.
that. Ellen is. There's some mental illness there, and at the same time, first of all, she's very well read.
Oh my, yeah.
When she goes to,
Very
when she has her
intelligent.
letter from Theo, and she meets him in the park, and she starts correcting everything.
Him. Yeah. And then later on, there was another letter that he'd sent her, and she was so happy that all the verbs agreed.
They all agreed.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah.
So I should say, oh, that must be why I love her so much, because she's you,
Yeah.
as far
Oh.
as your grammar.
Yeah.
But she has so much in her life, and she sees everything around her, I think, at all times, and not all of us do that.
Yes.
You know, she sees the birds, and she finds the bird nests.
Yes.
And she sees.
And that's where the feathers come in
That's where the
again.
feathers come in. She sees the trees. She has her bicycle, which is called the Noble Invention,
Yes.
and from William Soroyan.
Yeah, Soroyan.
Soroyan.
Yes.
Yes. It was in a story that she read. She has read so much.
Yeah.
So she's always constantly asking Theo, well, did you read the story? Blah, blah, blah. Or did you read the book? Blah, blah, blah. And most of the time he has not. So he went and got the book later so that he could read it. So he would know what she was talking about. She's such a good character. So, I mean, I like all of the people that he gives the portraits to.
Yeah.
There's so much there. But Ellen, she captured my heart.
And she is so tied to the end of the story. She is. And again, we'll talk about that, I think.
So, and different when he says, what will you do with your portrait? And some will put it in their homes. He talks about the one man that was going to take it to the hospital because his 8-year-old was
daughter.
in the hospital and had been for quite some time. So he was going to go put it there. There was the bartender who said, I think I'll send it to my mama. It was like, cool. They talked about, I think in all, there were only 3 people that didn't show.
Yes.
I think I remember reading that somewhere. But
Yeah.
there was one that went to prison. A woman who had fostered kids, and one of the fostered adult children were in prison. And so she got permission and took it out of the frame, and she
okay.
sent
Yeah.
it to this
Yeah.
young man
Yeah.
who was in prison, and then she
Okay.
died shortly after that. So some of the characters, he really gets in deeply with them, and they become such a big part of his life.
Oh, my golly.
And some then are just, you just hear their story,
Right.
and only that one story.
Yeah.
You don't hear more, because he makes his friends. There becomes a very tight group of friends
Yes.
that have Thanksgiving dinner together
Yes.
and go to see Simone when he's doing his cello concert
golly.
and that kind of thing. It's amazing,
Yep.
the friendship.
Because another character that I really liked was Tony.
Oh, yeah.
He owns, it's called the Verbivore.
Yes.
And what was somebody asked him about that.
I have it written down. Simone was actually talking about, Tony had written a poem. Herbivores eat Brussels sprouts. Carnivores eat birds. Cashivores eat dollar bills. And verbivores eat words.
Yes.
So,
And
yeah.
that was the name of his bookstore.
Was
Verbivores.
Verbivores.
Verbivores. And every day that place was going under. You got to buy a book. I'm going to have to close my doors. And even in the epilogue at the end, it said that he was still
Out
saying
there.
that to people. You have to buy a book or two or my doors are closing.
I'm going to have to file bankruptcy.
Tony was a Vietnam vet. And that was one of the stories that really got me. And he was talking about when he was in Vietnam. He had befriended this little boy. Oh, because he was he had like a golf scholarship to some college and ended up not going to
Couldn't get out of
college,
it.
but
Or couldn't get out of the war.
so ended up going to war. So he always carried this golf ball with him as kind of a good luck.
Well, he had a hole in one when he was in high school.
Oh, okay, see,
That's where it came
you're
from.
remembering more of the
If you
details.
listen to it twice.
I can't, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah. So this golf ball was very special to him, and he ends up giving it to this little boy. When I was listening to, I don't know if I listened just to this part over, they're evacuating all of these people. They're helping them pack up their homes, and they're loading them on the helicopters or whatever. And this person comes running at him. And some of his buddies say, watch out, look out. And he shoots. And as this person falls, this golf ball rolls out from underneath them. That was the first story, I think, that really just, I had to stop reading for a little bit.
Killed the
this
child.
Because then I was trying to listen more or whatever. It's not that the kid was actually threatening him.
No. First of all, they had to be watchful of children because they carried guns just like anybody else. They were in North Korea territory, or North Korea had come down far enough in. That's why they were trying to evacuate people. So they were trying to help them evacuate while they're trying to watch their backs. And it's actually quite a few of the guys start yelling, watch out, because this person is running out of the woods. And people are getting down to the ground or hiding. And Tony just turns and shoots. And it was the little boy.
Yeah. Oh.
But then the beauty of that, because Theo has that way of turning it around.
Yeah.
Because Tony is saying, I shouldn't have come out of there. I wish I wouldn't have come out of there. Why am I back here, kind of thing. And Tony had just told Theo about the fact that Ellen got kicked out of the public library.
Yes.
And so he honored her with a library card to his store.
Yes.
She could have 3 books once a month, and then she was to bring them back. And sometimes the books didn't get back. And he said, that's fine. But you go ahead and get 3 more books. And Theo said to him, see, that's why you are here. You are the saint that allows Ellen to continue to read. I don't think we see or have a way of piecing together when we think we don't belong or we're not doing good. A lot of times
it's a wonderful life.
Yeah, it's a wonderful life. Because without our life where we are right now,
I know it.
Something else may not have happened. Something good may not have come out. It just, and that's what he does through the whole thing. I think that's too why you see such a connection between these people when they shouldn't have a connection. You've got a graduate student and you got a homeless woman and
the custodian.
The custodian,
the
that works
owner
nights.
of the bookstore, and the artist,
and Mr. Ponder.
Who
obviously is very wealthy, and he's a consultant.
Yes,
because he becomes Theo's consultant. There's another one that doesn't fit into this group of people that become friends because of Theo.
Him and his secretary.
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Gidley. Mrs. Gidley is one of those, she's very protective of Mr. Ponder and his schedule and all of those things.
We're not taking new clients.
We're not taking new clients.
Saying.
And she was very firm in that. Well, once Theo could kind of get through her and actually talk to Mr. Ponder about why he was there and who he was, and then Mr. Ponder was, it took him a while to get Mrs. Gidley into accepting Theo for who he was.
Yes.
But again, the man just has a way of pulling these people together so they can be there for each other.
Yes.
Always there for each other.
And Mrs. Gidley ends up being the one that helps to deliver the letters.
Yes.
So that the people know to meet him so they can get their portrait. And she really gets into it. And it becomes her calling to make sure that she finds these people and gets the letters.
Right.
Because like the custodian at the university, she had to go through quite a bit till she found out that she could find the head custodian, and the head custodian would deliver the letter to this man.
Yes.
It became her calling as well.
And the custodian was The one with the little girl.
Kendrick.
Kendrick. And Alyssa? No, Lamisha.
Or Scooby. He called her Scooby.
He called her Scooby.
But yeah, she had been in a car wreck. It killed the mother and injured Lamisha. And he worked nights, and then his mother worked days.
Right.
So they could trade off
Yes.
at the hospital watching over this young girl. And there was a portrait at the coffee shop, the Chalice. And so that's how Kendrick got there. And Kendrick was very, very, very leery. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
He didn't want any part of what was going on. He was very polite, but he'd always been told, you don't take something for nothing.
Right.
And he sure didn't have money to do anything.
And Theo's the one who sets them up with a doctor who can actually help her. And also, she has this accident because of a hit and run.
Yes.
Was it?
No, it wasn't a run, but it was, the person fell asleep.
Yes.
And ran into that.
And as the book goes on,
Oh.
the man who hit her, he was really tired. He was there. Help me out with this part.
Well, he wasn't illegal, but had been in the U.S. for 14 years, had worked for 14 years, got in trouble for something, so they sent him back to wherever he was from, Guatemala or something, I think, is where it was. He then turned around and came back to the United States, bought a car somewhere. He's driving. He was driving only at night because he didn't want to get caught again.
Okay.
He wanted to get home. He wanted to his home in the United States, and he fell asleep.
Yes.
Then later you find out his daughter is also ill, and she's the same age as Lamisha, trying to get back to her.
Yeah. And then that whole story leads you into the whole idea of forgiveness.
Yes.
Understanding other people's places, where they are in their lives. And it's Lamisha who really forgives first. The little girl, because she starts writing to his little girl, right?
Right, they do. Well, he
goes to court.
Kendrick has to go to court.
Yes.
They want him to testify how this man ruined their lives because of what he did. And what he realizes, he saw a very, very sad man and a man who wanted to get back to his daughter.
Right.
And he realized he would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And what it was a bad accident. And
Right.
That's huge. I don't think we forgive like we should, because there truly are accidents. We've got to forgive.
Yes, that all of those. Sometimes take the time to put yourself in somebody else's position, in their shoes.
Absolutely.
What were they going through? How would you have reacted? These days, people are just so quick to just blame. This is your fault. That's your fault.
Yeah. And hold grudges, which there's a little short snippet that said something about, because forgiveness is not forgetting. And forgiveness is not saying that what they did was right. Mm-hmm. But forgiveness is what frees you. When you forgive, it opens your heart back up. It helps you to become free. And that's why forgiveness is so important.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it'll eat you alive.
It will. It will. Takes part of your life. We talked about Simone. Simone is a cellist. Mm-hmm. And the way that Theo kind of meets him is Simone will sit out in the boulevard, the promenade, and he'll play his cello. That's his way of practicing because he's in the music school.
He's in a doctorate program at the university.
So he'll sit out and play.
Is that the way it was? No, there's a guitarist that Basil does that.
Oh, Basil. Okay, because
Basil's a street performer.
They mentioned later, and I thought, who is Basil? Who is Basil? So how does he meet Simone?
Because Simone he cuts through Tony's building quite often.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Theo meets him at Tony's bookstore or if he meets him at the Chalice coffee shop, one of the two.
Okay.
But he lives right in that area.
Okay.
So they see him cutting through to go to the university. Because that was the other thing that Theo liked about where he ended up staying and where he got his apartments, because the university was close and there was music and there was art and there was all of those things. Plus, you got a bookstore, you got a coffee shop. Hey, can't beat it.
Yeah.
Best thing you can have. Basil is a street performer, and Basil was a teacher, I think grade school teacher.
Yes, okay.
His sister got ill with cancer, so he quit work and stayed with her until she passed away. And then he said he just couldn't go back to school. So then that's when he started playing on the streets and became a street performer. And he plays at the Chalice quite often.
Okay.
When it's nice out, he's outside. And when it's not, he goes inside. So, yeah, that's Basil. And Basil had a picture as well.
Yeah.
I believe there's a picture that goes to Basil. I don't think there was a picture of Simone. He's just one he got to know.
And then he made that. They had that portrait made of him when he did his concert.
Yes.
Oh,
I know.
Another one that just, because he's from like Montana or something.
He's quite a ways from home.
He's doing his, I suppose it's like a doctoral thesis, but it's a concert.
It's a concert, yes.
Just him. And so he goes into great detail about the concert and how all of the boulevard friends or the promenade friends are sitting in the first couple rows. And that whole thing about how he explains to Lamisha the music. Okay, now, and he draws her musical notes.
Yes.
And he said, now, all of these notes right now are in Simone's cello. When he plays his cello, these notes will fly up into the lights.
Yeah. It was so beautiful. It made you be right there.
Yes.
In that concert hall listening to it.
And again, think about music and art in a different way. At the end of the concert, Theo comes to the stage and he says something about, well, we know that you really would have loved to have had your parents here, and blah, blah, and here they come.
They come on the stage.
They brought them in, and then they unveil this portrait that they did of Simone and his cello.
Oh,
there are just so many.
We definitely, I've already decided we're not going to go clear to the end and talk about the end of this book, just in case somebody picks us up and they don't realize, because again, a lot of spoiler alerts, so there's a lot of stuff we're not going to tell you yet.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see if some of our fans send us a message to say, "Oh, I didn't see that coming" or something.
Yeah,
but I don't want to go clear to the end. I love every bit of. There was another one, Sue, that. This one I didn't really catch until the second time through. Mm-hmm. Not that I got all the way through. I do other things besides listen to books. Not much, but I do. Catherine, the reporter.
I had that written down too.
Oh my gosh. So she gets wind of the fact that he's giving these portraits out. And so she wants to talk with him because she wants to write a story. And so they meet. He said, no, this is me. This is what I do. I wish that you would not tell anyone. Mm-hmm. I don't want the people watching. I don't want filming. Yes. I don't want any of that. This is how I'm getting to know people, and it's really a private time. And he finally convinces her, and nope, she's okay. All right, she won't write about it. He said something to the effect of, when I'm all done, I'll talk with you and only to you, and you can have the story. And, of course, she even says, now, don't worry about that. Don't make those kind of promises. And she gets ready to leave, and he said, oh, one thing. He had a portrait done of her after she had contact. Yes, I missed it the first time I listened. He had a portrait done of her from just some pictures that were in the newspapers and whatnot. Asher, the artist, does a portrait of her.
Yes.
And she looks at it and she's like, oh my gosh, I don't look like that. And he said, but you do look like that.
Yeah.
No, she said, that is a beautiful woman. I'm not a beautiful woman. And he said, but you are. And then, of course, she tells her story. Here's one I can relate to. She was that fat kid. And this part, not so much, but her father took off. He couldn't hold a job, couldn't get a job, couldn't feed the family, and so they lived in the clothes that they'd had for a long time. And she said, I just keep getting bigger and I'm in the same clothes. And so she said, I was an easy target. When I went to school, I got teased all the time. My clothes didn't fit. I was big. And he said something to the effect of, now is the time. I want you to get rid of that story. I want you to put the portrait person into your mind.
Yes.
And she kind of looks at him. He says, give me that thought that's in your brain. And he holds his hands out.
Yes, I remember this part.
And so they kind of do.
And they exchange.
She pulls it out of her head. Gives it to him. And then he hands her the
portrait. Oh, my God.
It was so beautiful. And to be the slightest bit encouraging, I think any of us realize how important that is to other people,
Oh, I know.
especially our children.
I know.
Oh.
Because that was another theme that ran through it. The parents who were so encouraging to their children in the things that they loved and they wanted to do. And then also teachers
Yes.
who would encourage children to pursue these things that they were seeing, but their parents were not. There's just so much in this book.
There is. It's hard
yeah.
to. Another one that Basil said, and this kind of made me think of you, because he liked his English teacher and his band teacher when he was in high school. And I believe the English teacher was the one that said, English, I won't say it right. Something about English is musical notes in a book, or something about if you look at books as musical pieces, read it as music. And he said that's what really got him interested in English, because he liked music.
Right.
The magic had to do with English is the magic in the notes, or so. I can't. Should have written that one down. I didn't. Okay, I do want to talk about Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Because Theo leaves. He's been called back to New York.
Right.
And he has all of the Christmas gifts ready to go.
Oh, if I could write a simple note like this man does.
No kidding.
The gifts were amazing, but the notes that he wrote. Oh, my God. Yeah, I wish I could write like that.
It just made me feel so wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, what else about Christmas gifts? Because they
were just amazing.
They were so perfect.
They were so
and it wasn't
perfect.
like he went out and spent tons and tons of money for 5,000 gifts. They were from the heart.
They were. A special bottle of port.
Yes.
Went to Tony. Although some probably were expensive, he sent Simone that special bow
for his cello.
But for Lamisha, it was an art set.
Right.
And I think a book. Another one, too, was Mrs. Gidley.
Yeah.
And it said that Lamisha delivered a portrait to her.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I'm wondering if I missed exactly what the portrait was of. Was it her? Was it what?
It was from, that Asher had done for Theo to give to Mrs. Gidley.
Okay.
Herself.
Yes.
That's the way
because she was the one that delivered all of the Christmas gifts. And I got to admit, the whole time I'm thinking, I wonder if he thought to get her anything. And sure enough, he had.
Some of the others I can't even think, but they were just so perfect.
They were.
Why don't we take the time to think about those things?
We just have to. We have to.
True.
We have to do it. We have to think about it. We have to make sure that we don't go too many days without telling somebody that we love them. They are a saint, that they are wonderful.
That
Barb
they make a
and
difference.
Nora now, thank you so much for suggesting this book. Because you and I, and Tim's further behind where we are, but he usually comes home from his walks. He'll say, okay, I met Ellen. Okay, I met, whoever it was each time. So I'm anxious for him to finish it.
Well, and then Jane, your neighbor, my friend from high school, she had mentioned that she read it, and she really enjoyed it too. So
good. And sister-in-law Mary, that's their book for their book club in August, I think she said.
Yeah.
I just think we just have to make sure we don't let Theo slip away.
Yes. I had written down too that you and I were talking on our way over here. Shan picks me up on nights that, one, we know we're going to be drinking, and two, we've had a lot of thunderstorms.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Lately. They had a really bad one to the, south of us last night. But anyway, so she'll pick me up. And so we were talking about, and I'm going to squirrel on this one. What was it? I was going to make a really important point here. Oh, shoot.
You up.
Yeah, but we were talking about the book, and shoot, it was so profound. Okay, but anyway, so as we were sitting here talking, we were talking about books in general.
Oh, yes.
And that's going to be our show for next week, is just talking about books in general. Books that we read when we were kids, that we read to our kids when they were kids, all of those things. And that, we do listen to a lot of books that they're fluff, but this one really touched us.
Yes.
And I wrote down that this book touches your heart and changes your life.
Yes.
to have those types of books every once in a while pop into our lives, I would like to ask our listeners to suggest other books.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we could do one of these every once in a while. Then, are you thinking that maybe in a couple more episodes we can talk more about the ending?
Yes.
As our unfinished business?
Yeah.
What happens at the end is what brings it all together.
Yes. I'm gonna make our listeners wait.
Okay.
Go buy the book.
Buy the book. Listen to the book.
Listen to it if you're.
Because listening to it is just that narrator.
It does have a very calming effect, doesn't it?
It does.
Does. Theo's voice itself, it's all the same narrator, but all the characters he does so well.
Yes.
He does them so well. David Morris, thank you for doing the voice in all of this.
Uh-huh.
I listen more than I do read physical books.
I really wanted to read this one with my eyes.
I did too.
From beginning to end, but we really wanted to do this show, and I think we were both understanding that neither one of us is going to get this book read within the next month.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So to be able to listen to it was a game changer.
Next week, when we're talking about books in general, I'm going to touch on audiobooks and the importance of those, especially as we age.
Yes.
And we aren't able to read as well the print in front of us.
Because it's sure the thing that kicked me into calling for an eye appointment. Because I was having a hard time reading that way.
Yeah.
With your bifold, you can only tilt your head so high, so low, and
It
left
is.
to right. But I was just not seeing the words very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes away from the joy.
Yes, absolutely. And it was joy.
It was.
And too, when you're driving, they frown on you reading a book.
Yeah.
Audiobooks are a little bit better.
In your automobile. Yeah. Have you ever been listening to a book that you're really enjoying and you get to your destination, but you don't get out of the car?
Yep. Tim and I will read. We try to find a book we can both listen to if we're going on a trip. And we have gone around the block or we've gone through the town or whatever because we don't have much left to listen to it.
I think then we're just going to wrap this one up for the day, but please listen to it, read it, send us your ideas, send us suggestions for other books. Yeah, because we've always talked about this.
Yes.
Doing a book talk. It's not really book club, but
it is a book that is so needed right now in this day and age. And I needed it.
Then next time, too, we can talk more about the author's notes, how he came about writing it, and
yes.
Okay, I'm going to lead into a whole other hour here. So
I know it'd be easy to do, wouldn't it?
So next time, books in general.
Books in general. So if you're reading Theo of Golden, whether you have just started it, you're halfway through, or you finished, whatever, please send us a message. We would love to know maybe who you're related to the most, or which story touched your heart the most. Any of that. We would love to hear from you, and you can send that to us at unavoidableaging@gmail.com. Unavoidableaging@gmail.com. We have a website, and that is unavoidable.life. Life. Then remember, you can listen to us about anywhere. We upload to Podbean. However, any of the podcast apps, just type in Unavoidable-Adventures in Aging, and we will pop up, and you will see a picture of Sue and I right there. Remember to like,
whether
subscribe.
you want to or not.
Whether you want it or not. Or whether we... Oh, my gosh. Do you suppose we could have somebody do a portrait of both of us? And then we would... Oh. Wow.
Huh.
We're going to have to think on this.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
Maybe more of a caricature
I
than
know.
an actual portrait.
That's what I would need.
Okay, please join us next time after you've read or listened to the book, and enjoy your life. Laugh at yourself. Encourage others to love themselves the way you love them and see them. Embrace the power of your aging, and always remember,
you're not knucking futz. You're just aging.
Dinner tonight. Pizza.
Pizza, maybe. Bye, everybody.
Bye.